Rachel Zegler breaks into tears after she realizes Brett Cooper has literally taken over the iconic role of Snow White, and she beats her in ratings. Brett Cooper, the conservative firebrand from the Daily Wire, has taken over the iconic role of Snow White, and surprisingly this news has taken social media by storm. People are definitely choosing Brett Cooper over Rachel Zegler, and for good reasons.
Thousands and thousands of actors and actresses, and I'm sure that, most of them, if not all, have made statements in the last week lamenting.
There is a whole story that tells why the public is slamming the actress for good reasons. Rachel Zegler, the actress originally cast as Snow White, had some big ideas for this fairy tale. Gone was the classic prince rescues princess storyline. Nope, Zegler decided it was time to give Snow White a modern spin. No Prince Charming, no waiting around for a guy to save the day. Isn't it too bold of a move by Disney? But here's what you would love to know: a lot of fans weren't exactly thrilled for them. Snow is a sacred piece of childhood nostalgia, is a dreamy love story with a prince, a princess, and that magical happily ever after ending. When Zegler's version ditched the prince entirely, it felt like a betrayal to those who grew up with the original tale. Just imagine you're expecting a romantic fairy tale only to find out that the love story has been swapped out for a modern twist. Fans hit the internet with a vengeance, arguing that some classics are better left untouched. You could almost hear them collectively yelling, "If it ain't broke, don't fix it." But hold on, this isn't the only change that's got Disney fans screaming. Read, let's talk about the 7 dwarfs, but should we even call them dwarves anymore? Disney decided to shake things up here too. Instead of casting little people in these iconic roles, they went with taller actors. Yeah, you heard that right, the dwarfs aren't dwarfs anymore. Well, Peter Dinklage, whom we all know as an advocate for representation, called out the original story as offensive, and Disney got scared a lot and swapped out the little people and brought in a diverse cast of taller actors, thinking this would sidestep any potential backlash. Spoiler alert, it didn't.
Zegler is the queen of controversy. She even had articles trying to document all of her different scandals, and that doesn't even have all of them. How Disney Snow White star went from Hollywood's newest darling to the film industry's most scandal.
This decision only added fuel to the fire. Fans were quick to point out that Disney had the perfect opportunity to give 7 little-known actors literally a major spotlight. These could have been career-making roles for little people in Hollywood. Instead, Disney's decision came across as exclusion disguised as progress, and that's not all. Let's circle back to Snow White herself. Disney's casting of Rachel Zegler, a Latina actress, stirred its own pot of controversy. Some people celebrated the move, calling it a win for diversity, others, not so much. Snow White's whole identity is tied to her description: her skin is white as snow, and changing that struck a nerve for fans who felt like the character was being altered. Beyond recognition, and just when every one of us thought the storm had cooled down, those leaked photos hit the internet. Disney's PR team scrambled to do damage control and also claimed the photos were fake, but guess what? They weren't. Fans saw right through the denial, and the backlash only intensified. At this point, it feels like Disney is juggling controversy after controversy, and none of the balls are staying in the air. Whether it's the missing prince, the non-dwarf dwarfs, or the debates over casting, this project seems to be stumbling from one PR disaster to the next, but let's not forget why all of this matters for generations. Snow White has been a beloved classic, a fairy tale that stood the test of time. Fans don't just want to watch a movie, they want to feel the magic, the romance, and the whimsy they grew up with. Take that away and what's left? A polarizing remake that's alienating the very audience it was meant to delight. Alright, so if you thought things couldn't get more dramatic, think again. Disney decided to go all in with changes for their new Snow White. The first eyebrow-raising move, dropping the 7 dwarfs from the title entirely. Yep, it's no longer Snow White and the 7 dwarfs, now it's just Snow White. Why, you ask? Because the remake only features one dwarf character, one. Naturally, fans are losing their minds over this. Many are asking the obvious question: why even call it Snow White if you're stripping away everything that makes the original iconic? It's like ordering a pizza and getting breadsticks instead. Sure, it's food, but it's not what you came for. Disney's reasoning seems rooted in avoiding offense, but fans are calling it overcorrection. They're saying this isn't about being progressive, it's about erasing the charm of a beloved story. The whole thing feels like Disney's playing an impossible balancing act, trying to please everyone and, in the process, pleasing no one. But wait, there's more. Rachel Zegler, who was originally cast as Snow White, didn't just stop at removing Prince Charming from the plot. She went a step further and labeled the classic prince a creepy stalker. Yep, she actually said that. It's a bold take, flipping the script on what many consider a timeless love story, and while some applauded her for challenging outdated tropes, others were downright furious. A creepy stalker? Really? They said, to many fans, these fairy tales are supposed to be an escape. A magical break from reality, turning the prince into a villain, felt like tearing apart the very fantasy they cherished. Enter Brett Cooper, the new Snow White under the Daily Wire banner, and boy, is she shaking things up. Brett didn't waste a second before diving into the drama. She made it crystal clear she's all for sticking to the classic love story. No creepy prince, no rewriting history, just the sweet magical fairy tale everyone remembers. Her stance resonated with a lot of people. For fans who felt betrayed by Disney's modern take, Cooper's version became a beacon of hope. It's like someone saying, hey, we get it, you love the original, and we're here to bring it back. Imagine being told everything you adored about a childhood story was suddenly wrong. That's what many fans felt, and Cooper's take was the antidote they needed. But hold on to your tiaras, because this is where things get really interesting. The Daily Wire didn't just cast Brett Cooper, they're making their own version of Snow White. Yep, a full-on remake that promises to stick closer to the original fairy tale. Talk about throwing down the gauntlet. This move sends shockwaves through Hollywood. Fans are now eagerly lining up to see which version will win their hearts. On one side, you have Disney's ultra-modern Snow White, ditching the prince and the dwarfs for a fresh take, and on the other, the Daily Wire is betting big on nostalgia, delivering a faithful retelling that's all about classic fairy tales. Vibes. And here's the plot twist. The rivalry got so heated that Disney decided to delay their movie instead of releasing it in 2024 as planned. The new Snow White won't hit theaters until 2025. That's right, Disney. The entertainment giant is stepping back, maybe even rethinking some of their decisions. Why the delay? Some say Disney is trying to dodge a direct box office showdown with the Daily Wire's version. Others speculate they're scrambling to adjust their creative direction after seeing the backlash. Whatever the reason, it's not every day that a company like Disney blinks in the face of competition. Now the fan reaction has turned into a full-blown fairy tale. Showdown, it's like a sports league but with princesses and dwarfs instead of touchdowns and three-pointers. On one side you've got fans rooting for Disney's bold changes. They're saying it's high time to break free from outdated stereotypes. Why shouldn't Snow White be her own hero? On the flip side, you've got fans rallying behind the Daily Wire's version. For them, the magic of the original story is irreplaceable. They want the prince, the dwarfs, and that happily ever after charm. It's a battle of modernity versus nostalgia, and neither side is backing down. The stakes are high, and the question on everyone's mind is which Snow White will capture the audience's heart. Will it be Disney's progressive take, redefining what a fairy tale can be, or will it be the Daily Wire's homage to the classic, reminding us of the stories we fell in love with as kids? Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos on Rachel Zegler and woke Snow White. See you in the next one.